Virtual summits are the most powerful online marketing tool available to grow your list, launch your platform, make more money, and create an impact in the world, even if you're just getting started. If you are ready to take your summit to the next level, then tune into the Virtual Summit podcast with Dr. Mark T. Wade.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark T. Wade, founder of Virtual Summit Software and creator of the One Day Summit Formula. And I'm on a mission to help you, the summit host, get your summit out to the world in a powerful and impactful way. So let's get started. Hey, Summit host, Dr. Mark T. Wade here, founder of Virtual Summit Software and your host on the Virtual Summit Podcast. We are in for a treat on today's episode. We're not just going to look at all the shiny, bright, sunny, beautiful pieces of a summit today. We're going to dig into some of the challenges, some of the difficulties, some of the things that maybe don't get talked about enough so that you can prepare and be successful on your next summit. And the only reason that's going to be possible is because we have legendary Amy Schadt with us today. Amy, thanks for being here.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, I am so excited to have you here. I'm excited for you to share some of these lessons from your summit, the vulnerabilities, the transparencies, the aspects that our summit hosts absolutely need to know. But before we dive into all those summit goodies, I'd love for you to take a quick moment and just tell our audience a little bit more about yourself.
Great. Hi, I'm Amy Schadt, and I am a certified life coach who works with power. So this idea of how to get back to your root of power, and then move from there. We question power structures, and then we connect that to your life. So I am a coach, I am a speaker, and I'm a host and a producer of summits. So I've had 2 summits underneath my belt so far. And I'm really here to talk about how, it is a challenge, how the challenges come up for you when you do a summit, and how to break through those. And I'm still sitting here today with a smile on my face. So it is possible to have a great summit.
Absolutely. And a teacher, right? Teachers
yes.
too.
I'm a teacher, educator of over 20 years of dance, and math and science and chemistry. So
well, that is a perfect combination. And we're ready to learn. We are ready to be learned. That's not the correct way to say it, right? All right. So, what I'd love to do first is let's jump into the summit. What was the first summit? Give us let's take us back to that moment when you decided you were going to do a summit. Like, were you excited? Were you scared? And what did you decide you were actually going to do with it?
Great. So my first summit was Unlock the Power Within. And I gave myself 3 months to get it together. So I think that's number one. I'm going to just say that you need to put the date when you're going to start your summit. So I put myself in a 3-month container, and I didn't know what to expect from a summit, other than I was a real big interest in what other people are saying, what they can offer to finding power, and really educating others. So that was my real main focus on my first summit. Go ahead. And I didn't know what to expect. I knew that there were steps I had to go through, but I didn't realize how emotionally challenging it was going to be to go through all those steps, because you look at something on paper and you're like, oh yeah, I can do this, this, and this, but you don't realize that the challenges that come up for yourself in those steps. So whether it's insecurities, whether it's finding your voice, whether it's really closing those deals, whether it's really following through and doing what you're supposed to be doing on the daily. Those were the lessons that I really learned and that were really challenging for me.
Virtual Summit's software makes hosting a summit easier than ever. The only software in the world designed specifically for hosting a summit lets you set up a summit in a matter of hours with no tech skill or team needed. You can try out the Virtual Summit's software free at virtualsummits.com. But hurry, this is a limited offer.
I mean, hosting a summit is no easy feat. It is possible, but you got to be prepared and you got to know what you're doing. So When you decided that you're going to run the summit, why exactly did you pick that theme? What was was it an idea that you wanted to move forward with, or did you have potentially an offering on the back, like a post-summit offer that was going to align? Kind of to help us understand how you decided that topic and theme.
Well, that topic, and I think this is good for everyone. It's really great to do a topic that really speaks to you the first time, because when you have a voice and a mission behind your summit, it gives you the stamina to really push through, because you're really going through for a bigger vision, right? So my bigger vision is always empowerment, finding your power, getting back to your power, and then how to change your life from there. So that was my really big motivator. And I think that's important for every first summit, is to really have that voice underneath you, because it's going to carry you. It's going to carry you through all the difficulties. And so I chose that because I do have a course for that, but my main goal on the first summit was to get one-on-one coaching clients.
So with the one-on-one coaching clients, talk to us about the alignment of the summit and what was your strategy so that it would progress the attendees to those one-on-one coaching clients.
Yeah, so the beauty about a summit and your theme is that you're going to attract people who have the same kind of interests as you do, the same kind of struggles, the same kind of pain points. You're going to attract those types of people, and then those types of people are like my tribe, right? Because they align with my message, they align with my experience, they align with what I as a coach want to bring to my clients in the world. And so that's part of aligning yourself with your message in your summit, how important that is, because you want to attract your tribe. I wanted to attract my tribe. So I recommend that for the first summit. And then after that, you can go into however you want to do. But I would definitely recommend having your mission underneath you to really motivate you to get through all the things you have to get through.
Excellent. Yes. So with those challenges, let's dive into like one. Let's pick one and break it apart. Like, what was one of the top challenges? What do you see the reason those challenges were? And then maybe what are the best ways to handle those challenges for our summit hosts?
Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to start with almost the beginning, which is the Gen email, right? This email that you have to send out to speakers to sign up to participate in your summit. So the Gen email is this email, as most of us know, that you're claiming your mission. You are inviting them into your mission because they connect with your mission. And you are sending it out to complete strangers, right? And for me, that was big because people usually come to me. I don't usually go to people. That's just because as a teacher and a dance educator, I walk into a classroom, the students are there. I don't have to do any promotion. I don't have to do any reaching out. So that was like a huge step for me to reach out to these experts. And I'm going to tell you that if you think, you have to send out probably 100 to 300 Gen emails. And you have to, and for me, that was like, it took me probably 3 hours to do like 5 Gen emails in the beginning. And so the struggle of like, oh my God, I have to do 5 a day. That's like 3 hours out of my day each day. And that struggle to really follow through on that until you became more of an expert in it was a huge hump for me. It was like oh, again, another 5 today, right? Because you should do like 5 a day at least. But that to me was like a huge growth, because by the end of the summit, like by the end of the period of getting speakers, I got it down to, it was like, oh, I can do like 20 emails in like half hour, right? So it was like, but the struggle before that was just exhausting.
So let's jump into the lesson learned there. What was one of the
Yes.
things that our summit hosts could do to increase or speed up that process? How can they be more successful when they're creating their initial emails?
So the success came in for me with using the Gmail templates. So if you go ahead and go into your Gmail account, you can create templates for your emails. And this saved me for my second summit too. If you create these templates, you don't have to copy and paste from your computer, put it onto the email. They're all in there. And then all you have to do is go in and change like the first or second line and customize it to your speaker that you are reaching out to. So that is like the biggest solution for me. That was like, because it took out the pain. There was like some kind of pain in like this whole process for me. And for me, I think having the written word on paper and sending it out, there's some kind of perfectionism in there too that I had to really deal with. And I think a lot of us deal with that. We don't really know what's happening, but there's a perfection about grammar. There's a perfection about your voice and how you sound and what you're saying. So when you put it all in a template, it's kind of like takes away that pressure. That and also scheduling your emails.
Talk to us about that.
So for me, I'm just going to tell you the truth. For me to send out an email right away is quite is very fearful for me because I can't make changes. I'm like, oh my God, because I always have a thought afterwards. So what I would do is schedule the email like maybe half hour, give myself a half hour space to feel as if I can make changes if I want to change it. Because I have a perfection thing about grammar and about putting written word out there. But for me, that was like a huge breath away from the pressure, right?
Be sure to check out the speaker management tool inside your Virtual Summit software, which lets you quickly and easily recruit and manage your speakers on your virtual summit, literally eliminating hundreds of hours of work. Get more information at virtualsummits.com.
That's such a good little tip right there. If you have any kind of anxiety or nervousness about sending an email, just schedule it to go out 30 minutes later. I love that. I can't tell you how many times I've sent out an email, immediately went, oh man, I needed to change that, or I forgot to do that. Oh, that's such a great piece of advice. So let's jump into what should we put in these emails? What's one of the strategies you're using, or what do you think the best items to be in the email to get the speakers to answer it, open it, and agree to be on the summit?
Mm-hmm. So I think your passion about what you're doing is number one. So I think that's why it's important for your first summit to really go with the mission that speaks with you, because if you don't, you need to, really convert your passion onto that page. So you need to have the language around it. So inviting them, you name the summit and what you're trying to accomplish. You give your vision for the summit to them. My first summit, I didn't put down the requirements on the Gen email. So there are certain requirements for most summits, and most of the summits are like video. There's a promo date. They have downloadable gifts that are available, and there's a 5,000 list requirement for the speakers. And some people decide not to put that on the email, and some people decide to put it on the email. I've done it both ways. So, and some speakers like that, and some speakers don't like that. But ultimately, it's going to be talked about in the speaker call. So basically, it's your vision. You're inviting them. You talk about your vision. You say it's like video or something like that, and you set up. I put a link on my email for a speaker call. So the speaker call for me is important because we could connect. We talk about the summit. We talk about the requirements, and that's when the 5,000 list requirement comes out for most. And I didn't really like it that way. I did it the first time that way, but I really didn't like it that way. The second time in my summit, I put it straight in an email. There's a 5,000 list requirement.
So let's move into the next struggle or challenge that you were facing in your summit.
Mm-hmm. So I guess the next struggle is the promo period. So there's a 2-week promo period in your summit. And that's the time where the speakers send out, you make up the promotional material. You make up the promotion email for them. So they don't have to do the writing of that. So you give them headlines, you give them text, you give them a promo link so that every speaker has their own promo link, right? And then you send that out. Then you ask them for a date when they're going to they're going to send the promo email out. And sometimes, speakers are busy, or they don't communicate with their VA, or the VA forgets, and they're not sending out their promo email. And you, as the host and the producer of the summit, you know that, because on the back end, on the tech end, you can see how many clicks on each link there are, right? So, and many speakers, trying to get them to promote was also an issue for me, because I can claim it, I have an issue with closing the deal, right? I'm okay. It's where I'm at. So this is closing the deal, looping it around to where everyone's promoting, and everyone's promoting in the right way on social media and the promo email. So for me, that was like, oh, I'll give them a day past their promo date, right? Because all these fears are coming about asking a speaker to show up and to promote for the summit. So yeah, that came up for me. I need to be a better closer. That's a lesson learned. I have got to figure out a way to get comfortable with, like, hey, your email, I see your email hasn't been sent out. Can I support you in any way? Do you need any help? You go at it that way instead of my usual.
So with I want to circle back to the
Yes.
promotion materials.
Mm-hmm.
What is when you're giving those to the speakers, when you're providing the deliverables, what's your go-to way on how to handle that? How do you give it to them? What do you use to host it? Like, what's the technical aspect to use for that?
Well, so the promotional materials, for me, you don't have to always do this, but I do a JPEG with us on it, with promoting the summit. I write an email that generally discusses what the summit's about, and then they can copy and paste and put in their own branding on that. And you're sending out email, you're giving them headlines, like different subject lines to use for the emails. And then oh, my ear thing keeps falling out. Just a second. And then you have your promotional link. So everyone has their own promotional link. And if you're doing, you can use the technology behind that is, I used WordPress. So behind WordPress, because I build my own websites and stuff like that, because I am technical. So I do have that advantage for the summits. So yeah, and you send this out, and then they copy and paste, they go ahead and just make it their own, and they send out this solo email to their list. And with that, you can see who's responding to the email from their list. So basically, you're getting people subscribed into your summit through those emails.
With the Ever Summit feature inside the Virtual Summit software, you can rerun your summit as if it were live, ongoing forever with one click of a button. This now lets you continue to use your summit forever, bringing in qualified and engaged leads every month into your business. Get more information at virtualsummit.com.
And what is with the promotional materials that you're giving to the speakers when it comes to getting like conversions over, maybe even on the landing page? Let's start with the landing page.
Mm-hmm.
What's a suggestion you'd have to increase the conversions when an attendee comes to a landing page? Maybe some common mistakes that summit hosts are making.
Yeah, I think your opt-in video is like number one. So your opt-in video on the landing page should be very like hitting pain points and hitting promises and hitting how great the speakers are. And I really, you're going to solve these problems for them, and they're going to get great takeaways. They're going to get great gifts. They're going to really learn from the experience. So the person going onto the landing page has to have this feeling that they're going to get something from the summit. It has to speak to them. That's for sure. And sometimes, I get speakers and they have a big list, but the message might not speak to their audience as much as another person's audience. So that's one of the, things you can't really, you could change the email, give them a new email to send, but sometimes the message doesn't resonate with their audience. And that's just part of the summit. That's part of the process. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't with each speaker. And you have to find a way to really up your leadership and your communication and connection with them to see if we can't make it better.
It's so important to up that leadership, up the game. You're hosting a summit. You got to get in there and rock it. Well, as we start to wrap up this episode here, Amy, what's something else, something fundamental, something powerful that you think summit hosts just need to know about as they're building out their next summit?
So I think a couple things. One, get accountability partners. Get people that are on board with you. Two, keep organized. I'm giving you a downloadable speaker checklist so you can get really organized in your summit. Number three, you know what? I want to tell you that list size doesn't always matter, because you can do all this work and sit there and go, oh my God, I only had 150 people on my summit. I'll register for my summit. Or maybe 500 people only. Or, you're not hitting this magic 5,000 on your list or 1,000 on your list per summit. But I know people who sold $30,000 off of their 300 list build. So, you have to really think about what you can offer your audience. Offer, instead of like lack. Oh, I only have 300. Yeah, my friend had 300. She sold $30,000 off that 300 list.
So good. Who wouldn't want to sell $30,000 from a 300 person list? That's awesome.
Yes.
So Amy, I'm sure everybody's going, where can I go get this download? Where is she hanging out at? How can I follow her? Let everybody know where they can reach out to you at.
Well, you can reach out to me. The downloadable should be in the link with Mark and Company. And you'll get your speaker list, and it's like everything you have to have to build towards your launch date. And for me, you can get me on Instagram at Amy_Schadt. And I'm on Facebook, Amy Schadt Coaching. And then I have my website at amyschadt.com. But yeah, reach out, ask me questions. There's also a link if you want to consult, a free consult on the downloadable. I would definitely love to speak with you and help you through brainstorming and creating ways to really deal with those blocks and obstacles that you might be going through.
Definitely take Amy up on that opportunity there. Thank you so much, Amy, for hanging out with us today.
Thank you, Mark, and everyone out there. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, all you Summit hosts, for hanging out with Amy and I. I'm Dr. Marty Wade, your host here on the Virtual Summit podcast. And just remember, your message matters. So go out there and make an impact in the world. Don't forget to check out all these amazing goodies that Amy's just talked about over in the show notes at podcast.virtualsummits.com/144. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for listening. Now don't forget to subscribe and leave a 5-star review on the Virtual Summit podcast. Head over to the show notes to check out all the links and resources from this episode, and be sure to grab your free trial of the Virtual Summit software.
Now, I want to end this episode by saying to all the Summit hosts listening right now, I believe in you, and you can do this. Summits are by far one of the most powerful ways to quickly grow your list, launch your platform, make more money, and most importantly, make an impact in the world, even if you're just getting started. So don't get caught up in analysis paralysis, because the world needs to hear your message, and there are people who are waiting for you to help them. So just get started, because imperfect action is always better than no action. Thank you, and see you on the next episode.